I recently read the book The Talent Code by author Daniel Coyle. In 2008, author Daniel Coyle traveled the world to understand how a select few places on Earth seem to produce an extraordinary amount of talent. For example, he wondered how a historically non-golfing country like South Korea can produce 33 of the top 100 female golfers in the world, and how one tiny indoor tennis court in Moscow can produce more top-ranked women tennis players than the entire United States between 2005 and 2007, and how one school system in the United States can send 400% more low-income minority students to college than any other school system in the US. Coyle calls all these mysterious pools of talent hotbeds. When he visited a talent hotbed, he saw students operating on the edge of their ability, permitting themselves to fail and frequently make mistakes. The kids in talent hotbeds learn their sport or their art like a baby learns how to walk. They try, they stumble, they try again. Everyone in a talent hotbed is willing to look bad in order to get good, which is odd because we all instinctively hate making mistakes and desperately try to avoid looking bad. So why are people in talent hotbeds so enthusiastic about putting in thousands of hours of struggle-filled practice that makes us look foolish? After reading the Talent Code, I discovered that there are 3 primary reasons. I'll call these the 3 foundations of talent. You can think of these 3 foundations like 3 boosters on the bottom of a rocket. They provide the thrust necessary to push against the desire to quit, like a rocket pushes against the resistance of Earth's atmosphere as it goes into orbit. These 3 boosters are necessary to break the barrier in any sport, art, or profession and turn an average person into an exceptionally talented person. Talent booster number 1, a revelatory moment. On May 18, 1998, young female golfers across South Korea saw something they'd never seen before. A fellow countrywoman named Siri Park made a putt on the final hole of the Ladies Professional Golf Championship to become the first Korean ever to win a professional golf tournament. Christina Kim, a young South Korean golfer at the time, said she wasn't blonde or blue-eyed, and we were of the same blood. I said to myself, if she could do it, why can't I? After Siri Park won her first golf tournament, a seed was planted in the minds of little female golfers around South Korea. It was like the seeds of a dandelion had been blown across golf courses all across South Korea. 10 years later, South Korean female golfers would rise up the ranks and dominate women's golf, winning a third of all ladies' professional golf tournaments. That Siri Park moment on May 18, 1998 was a revelatory moment because it fundamentally changed what young Korean girls thought was possible. A similar revelatory moment happened in 1954. You see, back in 1954, everyone thought that running a mile under 4 minutes was impossible for a human being. But then on the morning of August 7, 1954, Roger Bannister did the impossible and broke the 4-minute mile barrier. In the months that followed, it seemed that runners around the world were suddenly more talented. Dozens of runners started breaking the 4-minute mile barrier, but nothing changed in the human gene pool. What changed was a belief that running a 4-minute mile was possible, and that belief was sparked by a single revelatory moment. Talent booster number 2, environmental reinforcement. At KIPP schools, where more low-income students go to college than any other school in America, students start visiting college campuses as soon as they're enrolled. A set of new 5th grade students at a KIPP school in California will go to USC, Stanford, or UCLA and talk with KIPP alumni who look like them and who come from the same poor background as them. After that trip, young KIPP students believe that even though their family doesn't have much money and no one in their family has attended college, they can be the first ones to do it. But the KIPP schools know that the belief from that revelatory moment might fade. So KIPP teachers remind their students about the dream of college at least 100 times a day. One KIPP English teacher says, "We say college as often as other people in other schools say, When author Daniel Coyle visited KIPP schools, he saw that each homeroom is named after the college the teacher attended. Math classes are in Berkeley, social studies are in USC, special education is at Cornell Graduate School. Even the lettering above the classroom mirrors inquires, where will you go to college? Every talent hotbed is loaded with environmental cues that reinforce the belief of what's possible and what's important. In the 1960s, Laszlo Polgar set out to prove that geniuses are made, not born. To prove this, he vowed to turn his unborn children into chess champions. Over the course of the next 2 decades, the Polgars raised 3 daughters in a home filled with chess books, multiple chess boards, pictures of famous chess players, and frequent conversations about chess. The environment signaled that chess was important, and the children appeared to pick up that signal. Over the years, all 3 girls developed an obsession with chess, and all 3 girls went on to be chess grandmasters. Talent booster number 3, a primal cue to belong. In the Polgar family, the youngest daughter, Judith, was by far the best chess player. In 1991, at age 15, Judith became the youngest player at that time in history to reach grandmaster status. Based on findings in the talent code, her talent was a result of insanely hard work at a young age, and her willingness to do hard work was due to a primal cue that she was behind and needed to catch up. When she first started chess, her sisters were much better at chess than she was. To the primitive part of Judith's brain, the message was clear: put in the work or get left behind. This appears to be the same subconscious message that Olympic champion sprinters receive at a young age. When looking back at the fastest runners in history, author Daniel Coyle found that, on average, Olympic champion sprinters were 4th in families of 4.6 children. Coyle says, speed is not purely a gift, but a skill that grows through deep practice, and that is ignited by the primal cue that you're behind. Keep up. We all get primal cues to keep up and belong to a desired group, like our family, or an exclusive group that raises our status. Talent hotbeds use these primal cues and leverage our innate desire to belong, to motivate students to put in more work than their peers. Some hotbeds take it to the extreme. In the 1980s, the Spartak Tennis School in Moscow, the tiny indoor tennis club that created more top-ranked female tennis players than the entire United States, began their tennis classes with 25 7-year-olds. Then every second week, a Spartak coach would cut one kid from the group. If those little tennis players didn't struggle in practice and fight to stay on the team, they would get left behind. In the end, if you want to replicate a talent hotbed in your home or your classroom, focus on REP, rep. Notice when your child or student experiences a revelatory moment and adopts a new hero, like those South Korean golfers did. Or go out of your way to manufacture a revelatory moment like those teachers did at KIPP. Then design environments to reinforce what's important and what's possible, like the KIPP schools reinforce the idea of college, or the Polgars reinforce the importance of chess. And then maintain their desire to do hard work by activating a primal cue to belong to special groups around them. When you focus on these 3 talent boosters, you create an inner drive in your child or your student to routinely push themselves to the edge of their ability and put in hours of deep, difficult practice that's necessary to become exceptionally talented at whatever they do. That was the core message that I gathered from the Talent Code by Daniel Coyle. There are several fantastic stories in the Talent Code about how talent is grown, not born. I highly recommend this book for any leader, teacher, or parent. If you would like a 1-page PDF summary of insights that I gathered from this book, just click the link below and I'd be happy to email it to you. If you already subscribe to the free Productivity Game email newsletter, this PDF is sitting in your inbox. If you like this video, please share it. And as always, thanks for watching and have yourself a productive week.